What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, admittedly, there has been a lot going on in the Marvel news cycle over the last week, with Kevin Feige holding a major press conference and sort of announcements akin to a Hall H. We also had Fantastic Four dropping, of course, the first look at Doctor Doom on screen with the lead up for Doomsday. But we gotta focus on Marvel's very next movie, where before all of this, we heard that Jon Bernthal would officially be joining the cast as the Punisher, but now we're starting to get behind-the-scenes photos from the sets that they're building out as Spider-Man Brand New Day is about to start filming internationally in a couple of weeks. And in that, we have a major reveal for Marvel's next villain before Doctor Doom, and it's none other than Professor Hulk. We're going to talk about the major implications here because it actually says quite a bit about what's going on with Professor Hulk in the storyline and where this may be set as compared to Avengers Doomsday, given some more recent reveals, and how this all leads to eventually us getting that World War Hulk project we've been hearing about for the better part of 5 years. We're breaking it all down, this latest reveal and confirmation of Hulk's role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately. If you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so. We're about to have another PS5 giveaway in just a couple of days for Eyes of Wakanda. All you gotta do, be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so first up, the normal spoiler warning as it pertains to this kind of stuff. They are setting up the set right now in Glasgow, Scotland for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is set to start filming in mid-August by most reports. So the spoiler warning here about these set photos we're about to reference, and for the record, I am not going to include them in this video and probably not on my social media either, because I've seen them taken down in a couple of the places they've been posted. They're still on Reddit, they're still on Twitter, they're still circulating. I'm just going to describe them all because I've seen them myself and can confirm them, and there are some major spoilers here for Spider-Man Brand New Day. So if you want to go into the unknown not knowing, of course it would beg the question as to how you made it this deep in the video. Doesn't matter, now would be the time to back out. Let's dive in. Okay, so for the first set of reveals, we have a set of construction signs on the set again of Brand New Day. Now, because of the dates that are listed, we know when this movie is set, or at least we can rule out when it isn't. The signs on the construction fences read that this is scheduled to be completed in December of 2027, meaning that the movie must take place sometime considerably before that, which places this about a year before Avengers Doomsday. So now we know, without a doubt, that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be a prequel, and I think in a lot of ways, it makes it much easier for this story to exist. We'll get into why in a little deeper in this video, but at least on surface level, it makes it much easier for the script so that it's not contingent on changes to the Avengers Doomsday script, which we know they haven't finished the script at all. So being set earlier allows this movie to be the continuation to Spider-Man No Way Home that it was supposed to be, and allows Spider-Man to have his moment as a reset friendly neighborhood Spider-Man without the major benefactor of Tony Stark or the emotional complications of what's going to happen when he sees a Victor Von Doom that happens to look like the 616's Tony Stark. Now, the next leak was super interesting. The next behind the scenes set photo revealed what looks like Professor Hulk on a wanted poster. Now, this is where it comes to the whole allowing this story to exist in before Avengers Doomsday, because something else is going down here. We know for certain Punisher will be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. We also know that Punisher will be in Daredevil Season 2, which should drop on Disney Plus right before Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out, and they briefly referenced the Spider-Man theme at the end of Daredevil Season 1. Keep in mind as well, Matt Murdock's first cameo in the MCU was Spider-Man No Way Home. Everything seems to point to Spider-Man, especially with the holdover of a major character like Punisher from the Daredevil series to the silver screen in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So all the links to Daredevil are there, but it's the curious addition of the Hulk to the storyline that we have to work out. But the clues are there. We know that Wilson Fisk right now has an anti-vigilante task force targeting superheroes or masked vigilantes, and we know that there's a likely chance that this is the same New York setting. Even with Daredevil Season 2 coming out, there may be a Daredevil Season 3. They may not have resolved that storyline, and you could easily see Professor Hulk being like, screw Wilson Fisk, I'm going to continue to keep being a superhero and doing good. We saw a little bit of this in that deleted scene from Avengers Endgame, whereas Professor Hulk in that purple jumpsuit, he was saving people and coming to the rescue. You could see him doing that and then finding himself as one of these wanted now vigilantes by Wilson Fisk, especially if that storyline is not resolved by the end of Daredevil 2. But every industry insider we've heard about and for this story has said that this is essentially a Spider-Man and Punisher team-up movie, and they'll actually be squaring off against the Hulk. that puts them on the same side as the anti-vigilante task force. That doesn't really make too much sense, and you have to imagine all of them are vigilantes. They've got a lot in common, and I know there are a ton of theories out there about the Hulk because he's a different entity and right now sort of mixed up with Bruce Banner, that spell that Doctor Strange cast might not have affected the Hulk. The Hulk might actually remember Peter Parker, and what seemed like a leak months ago for some concept art for the film, we actually saw the classic Spider-Man on the Hulk's pose in a couple of the concept art frames. But I think a lot more compelling a story and a lot more likely Hulk will end up being the villain of this film, because only so much pressure from an anti-vigilante task force and or the stress of what might be happening right now for him in the storyline. I think there's a good chance that this is the catalyst that sends him into Savage Hulk mode, the mode that, trust me, the Russos and Marvel Studios know that we want to see. He may be still Professor Hulk when we catch up with him on the Wanted poster, but we've had Professor Hulk now for the better half of a decade. We haven't seen Savage Hulk or anything like it since Thor Ragnarok. It is about time that we have a catalyst for him to sort of revert to a Savage Hulk form. He doesn't need to be a full-on villain, but that's ultimately where I think this will all head if we're going to get a World War Hulk storyline of any kind, and it would definitely be a more interesting take on the character, and that's where you've seen a lot of talk about Maestro Hulk eventually being his final form for this World War Hulk project they've been eyeing and setting up since, 2020, but at this point definitely doesn't have any room in the Multiverse Saga. The best we can hope for is that they use the events of Spider-Man Brand New Day, which we know certainly now will contain no setup for Doomsday unless it's a post-credit scene, to give us some sort of reversion point for the Hulk, so we get a way stronger, cooler Savage Hulk for Doomsday and Secret Wars. Please, God. Please. I'm just praying for it. Marvel has been hitting some real home runs lately. I think they know exactly what we want. They've been trying to serve it up. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, because, man, how lame is Wolverine versus Hulk going to be if it's Wolverine versus Professor Hulk? No one wants to see that. If we're getting that X-Men versus Avengers in their 10,005 universe as a part of what we've heard about might be a first or second act, please make it Savage Hulk. I'm praying they understand this. I think they do. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below. We all cried about it on the internet for years, about how they depowered Hulk and it just wasn't fair. I think the Russos heard. I'm going to be optimistic here. Let me know all your thoughts down below. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, still giving away PlayStation 5s. Just confirmed our last winner for the Fantastic Four PS5 from Friday. We've got another one coming up this Friday for Eyes of Wakanda. All you gotta do, be a sub, leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Thanks so much to those of you who have been subbing lately. We've been growing again at a breakneck pace. It's awesome. Everyone is so excited for the Avengers movies. Feels like Infinity War all over again. Let me tell you, I am super hyped. A couple places to find me: Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. Find me on all other platforms with original music under the name Allfires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.